No, Matt's heading back across the road. He had 2 swipes left. Don't mind him, he's crossing traffic. That's where we're at so far. Got probably 600 acres total done so far. Not today, but since we started. But look at me being a team player. I've done all the inrows. So he can come right across and get with me. He'll help me out. When I'm variable rating, I technically have to do all the inrows. We're not variable rating this field, but it's pretty good going out in this joint. I figured I'll knock off the inrows real quick, make it a little easier on all of us. And I got to do a test plot out here. I'll try to do a plot north and south sides, do a little plot with the anhydrous, and then do a little plot with the corn planter coming back through. We'll see what happens. Get the plot set up, and yeah, hopefully we get some rain and really make the plot show its true colors. I did a plot last year, north and south. The north side got rain, the south side didn't. The south side was average, and the north side showed that technically it was good, but it's really not enough data to prove it. So we're going to do it again this year. We're going to do it just a tiny bit different. I'll talk about that a little later. We're getting with her. Dusty.
So we're back putting on anhydrous. Or trying to. Got this bar yesterday. It's rented, ain't ours. So we were trying to do prescriptions with it, but you gotta have a rate controller. We don't have that. Jake does have that, so he can actually see the prescription on his monitor. I can't see it, so I'm flat rating wherever it's flat rated on the prescription, and he's doing everything that basically when the field changes. So like some of the parts of the field will say like 140, and then some of it will say 200, whatever, 230 or whatever. In some spots it's changing on his when he's going across the field, but I can't do that because I don't have the rate controller, so mine's just a constant unless I change it manually, which is we're trying to stay where I can actually just change it with. I only got 2 rates. So I got a rate 1 button and a rate 2 button, and I got 1 preset on one and 1 preset on the other, so I don't have to go in and manually change it all the time. It's not terrible, but I also got to change it on my monitor too, so that takes a minute. So it's going to be a little off on probably online, because I can't change it fast enough when I switch it. But now we're getting her. It's been a process so far. Couple breakdowns yesterday when we first started, but we're getting it. We're getting it back in the saddle here. We're going to try and, like, we got like 700 acres done, so we're not doing terrible. Jake's pretty much done most of that. I just started, so I did like 119 yesterday after everything happened, so not terrible with the breakdowns. But this morning I got about 22 so far. Had to change a shank because it was bent up. Usually they break in half. This one just decided it was just going to stay and not break off, so which kind of helped with not breaking any hoses off. But Jake's back there. He's moving down the road. He's going to go start on some inrows, and yeah, we're going to keep it going. I don't know how far we'll get. Next farm I think is like 200 acres, so we should get that done at least, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Depends on how many breakdowns we have. It depends on how many acres we get done. I'm not gonna hold my breath that I ain't gonna break down. It probably will happen. As my uncle says, why do I keep breaking down? Because it's the anhydrous season. Every year it happens. Although we're starting better off this year. Last time I got this bar, I was out for basically 3 days and didn't even move. I got the bar and couldn't, you know. I think I did like 20 acres and it broke down. So we're better than last year. That's all I can say. We're gonna get going here. Let's get it. Look at it, pretty. Look at them lines, straight as an arrow. So we got a 16 knife applicator. It's a 5310 case. Not terrible. Don't know what year it is, but because it's rented. But we had this bar last year. They have changed this cooler here. It used to be a double cooler. Last year we took basically one cooler off because it was out of commission. The other one, they plumbed it up to a single hose, so I could only use one hose at a time in my tanks, but right now I got both hooked in, so it's pulling out of both now. So that makes it a little bit easier. I don't have to get out and switch over to the other tank when I run out of one tank. Now it just pulls out of both, so. Not bad. They said they went away with in-serve. It was putting too much rust in the tank, throwing through their coolers, so it was basically plugging their coolers up full of rust. So they changed that chemical, and basically I think it's similar to in-serve pretty much, but it just doesn't rust your tank out. It just helps hold the anhydrous in the ground longer so it doesn't leach out. That's all that does. Especially doing it right now in the fall, you don't want to lose any, but that's why a lot of people do it in the spring, so you don't get a lot of leaching out, because you're going to get a little bit during the winter time. But we like to do it in the winter, or fall. It ain't winter yet, but we like to do it in the fall so we don't have to rush around, do anhydrous, and get into planting and then spraying and all that stuff. We like to just get it out of the way, be done with it. I imagine we probably should get done with it this year. Last year we had like 160 acres left. We didn't get done. It rained us out, and it was getting pretty bad actually. It was getting pretty muddy at the end of last year, so we just we finished the farm we were at and quit. But we had this bar last year. It worked. Had its moments. The beginning was not very good. Once we got it figured out, it did good until the end, and it plugged back up, and then we kind of just said we were done. And it was raining, so it didn't have much. But we're getting it. One swipe left, and it's a little one. Not even half the bar. Oh well. Then we're gonna move down the road, catch up with Jake, and we're gonna knock out where he's in. Hopefully knock that field he's in. So let's get it. So we're gonna use the turn automation feature. I just kind of got it set up, so I haven't used it yet. It's telling me to control the speed because it will not do it for me, but we're gonna watch it at the same time. So we're gonna see what breaks it is. Hopefully nothing. All right, so I got to control that. Okay, it's gonna pull it out of the ground. Uh-oh, we're doing it. Oh my. It's not doing terrible. We pretty much got it set up to where I need it to be. So, all right, we're gonna go down. It's not gonna go down. Okay, well, we got the turnaround part and the picking up part. We just can't put it back down and where it needs to go. Still tuning it out. It's close. I mean, it's picking it up, turning it around all right. I just can't get it to go down fast enough. So I need to tune that in, but I probably won't use it after I just figured it out. It's kind of sketchy, honestly, but my hoses, for one, ain't long enough to really, if it turns sharp at all, it's pulling my hoses off. And them hoses ain't cheap, so I'll probably just, I'll probably just do it manually from here on out. Just thought I'd share a little bit of the turn automation. Something new for me. I've never really used it. I know we had it, never really used it. But it works when you, well, it does good going in and picking up and turning around. Don't do good turning, back down. So, oh well. Keep her moving a little bit more. I don't know how many acres we've got done so far. Probably 40, 50 acres. My tank's about empty. Jake's over there. He's hooking up to a tank. He just got it empty. The boss is bringing a full one back, but he got 2 almost empty tanks waiting for him. So you better pick up the speed. He's gonna get behind. Pick it up, Scooter.
I'll take that any day. That's pretty. Got this lever right here. Slides up, and you're good to go. Just like that. We're good to go. Trying to find a spot to set y'all. Afraid the smell ain't any better over here. Whew. She stinks. This is what happens. Hose came off. It's supposed to be right there. Problems. Just happened though. I've seen it. So we're moving out, going to the next farm. Got this piece here, all that back there. Got an empty tank for the boss man. The piece that we're right on the other side of this crossing, and the big bottom, which has about 116 acres in it roughly. Somewhere in there, 115 maybe. So we're moving to another farm. We're gonna knock out, I think there's 80 acres where we're going, and then there's CRP ground that we're gonna, well, we put beans in it this year, but we're
You done order yet?
boss checking on us, but we're heading there. Let's get it.